Hi, how are you? Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. This is your first time to the channel. Let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today, my nugget is You Will Survive. Now, there's a song that somebody sing some years ago, and it says, I will survive. As long as I know how to live, I know I will stay alive. I have all my love to give, and I have all my life to give. I will survive. Now, that is a mentality that many of us will have to have in this environment that we find ourselves in a time when it appears that everything, the rug is being pulled from under our feet. It is a time when it seems like everything is going the next way when we are wanting to go in the other direction. And it is that kind of mentality that we are going to have to say to ourselves. We're going to have to say, this will not kill me. Yes, it looks like it will, but it will not kill me. And sometimes as individuals, we find ourselves in dark places. We find ourselves in corners that our face is against the wall. It's not our back that is against the wall, it is our face. And we can't see anything else except the brick wall in front of us. We can't see anything else except the challenge, the pressure. We can't feel anything else but the flames and the fires burning around us. But in this nugget, I want to say to you, you will make it. You will survive. And you will survive because survival takes a particular mentality. It takes a mentality that says, I am not fixed to this position and I am going to continue to move. The individual who feels like this thing comes to kill us is the individual who fails to see beyond this moment. So one of the way to survive any trial, any test, is not allow your mind to be stuck on this moment. This moment will pass. Now, yes, it might feel like it will never pass. It also might feel as you might have a sense of inadequacy. You might have a sense of concern as to how am I going to make it? What's going to happen to me? If this happened to me, I am going to be at my worst. But can I say this to you? Even if you are under the water, if your head is under the water and you feel like you're going to drown, life will not drown you. You know, we feel that we will die if the worst of the worst happened to us. But even if the worst of the worst happened to us, we will not die. Because guess what? Life itself will not kill us. It is something in life, it is something that we allow to kill us that will kill us. But life itself will not kill us. Why? Because life itself comes with challenges, and every challenge forces us to grow. Now, why will you survive? The next thing I want to say in this nugget is outside of stop locking yourself into this moment, stop looking at this moment only. I will also say look at yourself as a being that is growing. Look at yourself as an individual that is growing. So another part of not looking at this moment is saying to yourself, that this is also a part of my growth. This is also a part of my transition. And therefore, because this is a part of my growth, it requires me to think differently. It requires me to look elsewhere. It requires me to look beyond the present or the comfort zone. So a part of growth then is to expect trials. So I will say to you, expect it, plan how you are going to survive it, and endure. Because growth requires us to endure some tough times. It requires us to endure some hostile moment. Sometimes when we feel like this is the end of it all, it cannot get any worse. But even when it gets worse, life is still saying to us, you can grow. Many of us feel like we can't survive because we do not think in terms of options. We do not think in terms of outcome. So we lock ourselves in a routine and we don't think about options. So as of today, even though you are in the worst of situations, start to ask yourself, what are my options? What am I going to do next? How am I going to do this? Because without us planning what we're going to do next, without us planning to survive this moment, we are going to end up in another place that we don't want to end up. And a matter of fact, every time we grow to a particular level and we become comfortable there, life will force us to grow to a next level because we are growth being. We're not stagnatory beings. We are not individuals. As I said before, you grow to a particular height and you stop there. But life wants us to grow emotionally. It wants us to grow psychologically. It wants us to grow spiritually. It wants us to grow financially. But sometimes we just look at ourselves from just the financial perspective, and we fail to recognize that if we're not growing in the other areas of our lives, if we're not growing in the next set of things, then we are actually the ones stagnating ourselves. So in this, the problem you're facing right now is not a problem that comes to kill you. It's a problem that says to you, where next should you be growing? So here comes another part in this nugget that I want to say to you, is to ask yourself, how much have I grown in the last X amount of years? And I tend to work out what I call the correlation of growth. If you look at yourself and you have not grown, let's say in 2 years, just know that life is preparing a trial for you to push you to grow. Every 5 years in our lives as individual, we should have grown a particular level. Whether it be to learn a skill, whether it be to gain a qualification, whether it be to grow into another job position, we should have grown. Whether it be to grow in another level of intimacy with our partners, or whether it be in growing in another level in raising our children, raising our offspring, we should grow every 5 years. So if you have looked at yourself and you have not grown, you have not increased. What is growth? Growth is having an increased knowledge of something. Growth is acquiring another level of productivity or another level of ability to produce something new. That is growth. Growth is also the ability to acquire something new, something different, something that is of benefit, not just to yourself, but to others. So if in 5 years you have not acquired anything that make you a blessing to others, that gives you the opportunity to be a lender and not just a borrower, then life is going to prepare your trial for you to grow to the next level. So if you are at a place right now where you are so challenged, where it's as if you are in the trenches, it's because life prepared that trial for you to now say, what next am I going to do? What next am I going to focus my attention on? What do I need to make my life better? What do I need to make my life such better that I can be better for others around me? What can I do for myself that will help me to properly help others to grow? Because growth then is something that is not selfish. Anytime we continuously grow in a selfish way, life will prepare a trial that will cause us to think outside of ourselves. Also, whenever we focus on being so tunnel minded, one track minded as it were, anytime we find ourselves in a routine, whether that routine be like myself a couple years ago, I had a fourfold routine. It was I get up in the morning, I go and to work, then I leave work, I go to school, then I leave school, and then I go to church, and the cycle starts over again. Because of that, you may say, but school was adding to your growth, church was adding to your growth. Yes, those things were adding to my growth. Financially at work, I was earning, so it was adding to my growth. But it was a routine that I needed to say, this routine needs to be broken because I need to be of influence to somebody else. And out of that process, life prepared a trial for me that today I am sitting here with Gold Nugget JAW_success saying to you that the trial that you're going through right now will not kill you. It's a part of your growth. See it that way. In other words, this is the last thing I want to say with this nugget. See it that way. See what that way. See me losing my job as a growth process. See me losing my marriage as a growth process. See me losing my home and freedom and all of those things as a growth process. Yes. If we stop look at our trials as just something that comes to test us, something that comes to kill us, something that comes to take something away from us, something that comes to just cause us to be miserable, bitter, and hatred and envious and angry and all of those kind of stuff, then that's what we will have, because that's the only thing we are focusing on. But when we see it that way, when we see our trials, even though it was bad, even though it is bad, as something that we can grow from, something that we can improve our character. Character is not built out of the niceties. Character is built out of pressure. Character is built out of when you are suffering, you're going down into the trench, and you still have a smile, you still have a joy, you still have a peace, you still have a desire to help somebody, you still have that mindset that I am better than this. That's when your character show. I normally say to groups that I speak to that character is not what you do when you're out in the public. Your best days is not the day when everything is going bad. Your best days, or your best day for your character, is the day when everything is falling apart, but you're still standing up and saying, I am this good, I am this blessed, I am this strong, I am this, I am that. So when you see the trial that you're going through as something that asks you, what new do you need to learn? What skill do you need to acquire for the future? What individual you need to get rid of out of your life so you can grow? Then you start to reach to the level that you need to reach. So as I would say in the beginning of this nugget, you will survive this, and you will survive because you stop looking at it as something that just come to kill you. You start to look at it as something that is working on your character, something that is pushing you to accomplish better for the future, and something that is helping you so that you can be an help to somebody else in the future. So if you allow this to kill you, it's because you allow it. But by itself, it will not kill you. So I'm saying to you, endure it. Plan for it. Work out how you're going to survive it, and survive it, because when you come up out of this, you're going to be better off than you were when you were in it. Every trial that I have faced, every mountain that I have faced, I have come out on the other side better than I was when I started the climb, when I started the trial. I have learned more through my test, or at the end of my test, than going through the test. And this is what I want to say to you in this nugget. If you see yourself coming out on the other side, if you see it that way, if you stop looking at the moment and just saying, this is, Lord, this is going to kill me, you will come out on the other side better. And this is what I'm saying to you in this nugget. Keep pushing forward, because your life will not end here today. It is a future of blessing. It's a future of grace. It's a future of peace. Keep pushing forward. Keep learning. Keep earning. Keep growing. Because at the end of the day, you are going to make it. You will survive this. This is JAW saying to you, by all means necessary, create a way out. God bless you. Bye. Please like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell so that when I upload a new video, you'll be right in the thick of things. All right? Bye. Thanks for listening. Heads up.